This is the Mountain Warehouse travel bag that I have decided to take over to France with me for UTMB CCC race. So, for one, very pretty color, but two, extremely practical. So, fits on your back like that, clips together like that for travel. The great thing about this bag is all the compartments that it has. So, undo your clips on the side. And it opens flat like that. Plenty of compartments to store things. Waterproof compartments in there. And nice and deep. The other great thing about this bag is it does come with your little day backpack. Now obviously, when traveling, you can't wear two bags on your back at the same time. The great thing about this bag is that it will clip to the front of your day bag, of your travel bag. Zip it in, zip it around. And your little backpack is attached to your big bag just like that. So then when you're traveling and you've got your whole kit with you, it fits just like that. Now, when you're on the airplane, you obviously don't want these straps out and about floating around. So, undo your little compartment at the bottom. Fold out your protective case. And all of a sudden, your straps are nice and tucked away for your plane flight. If it's raining, if it's wet, pull out the waterproof cover from the bottom. And flips over the bag like so. Now obviously you can have it like that with the straps tucked in, or if you're wearing it, you have the straps out, waterproof case over the back, on your back to protect your bag and all your gear from getting wet. If you are looking for a travel backpack, my recommendation would 100% be the Mountain Warehouse bag. Hopefully, once I've got all my clothes out, we'll make sure everything fits and we'll be on our way. All right, we are gonna go through some of the mandatory gear items that I need to take for my CCC 100K race in a couple of weeks. So, first of all, starting with our running vest. So I use the Solomon Advanced Skin 12 litre pack. I have it in a couple of colors, but this is my newest one, is in the sage green. It has plenty of compartments to fit everything. The pack also comes with the whistle attached, which means that I don't then have to go out and buy another whistle because it is already attached to the pack. Little whistle. So this will be my running pack. It fits my 1.5 litre bladder in the back and two 500ml flasks in the front. One of the 500ml flasks that I'm going to be taking with me is actually, I only got it yesterday, the Katadyn Be-Free Water Filter Flask. So this is actually a 600 ml flask, but it does have the filter in it so that when we are running over in the mountains, you come across a stream or a trough or something with water, you can fill the water up, fill your bottle up, sorry, put the lid on, and it will filter out all of the bacteria from the water. Don't want to get sick. So that will be one of my flasks, and then I will have my Solomon flask and my Solomon bladder to go in vest. The next mandatory gear item that we need to have is a waterproof and seam sealed jacket. So the seams on the jacket must be sealed. This is a Mountain Designs jacket. I have used it for all of my ultras. It is warm, it's definitely waterproof. So that is what I will be taking with me as my waterproof jacket. Then we move on to waterproof long-legged pants. Again, seam sealed. These are not something that I've ever really had to pull out in a race, but it is part of the mandatory gear. So we will be taking that with us. And these are the Cape brand. You can just get them from Anaconda. They're not super expensive. They have the little fold-up pouch, so they really fold down to nothing when they're in your vest. We then need our fleece. So I'm not actually 100% sure when they're talking about the warm jumper in the mandatory gear list, if they're talking about a fleece or if they're talking about a thermal long sleeve top. But I have my fleece and I also have a thermal long sleeve top. So I will just take both of them with me and I will check at the gear check which one is actually needed. But from what I've seen, the weather is relatively warm over there, so it doesn't really look like we're going to be needing this, but we shall see. We then have our thermal merino long sleeve pants, and this is the thermal top that I was just talking about that I'm not sure if we need or not, but it's only little. I'll pack it in my bag and we'll take it and we'll find out if they want this or if we actually need to carry our fleece in our vest. But thermal top and pants. Head torches. It is a requirement that we carry 2 head torches. So the head torch that I use, which I've used a few times now and I absolutely love, is the Petzl head torch. So sits like that, really, really cool. It's got the battery on the back. So the battery actually is, it's a rechargeable battery, but if the battery runs out, it does also work on normal AAA batteries. So sits around like that on your head, really, really light, really, really compact, and folds up to next to nothing in the little bag. So I am lucky enough, I have mine and then I have choice, so I will take both of the same headlamp with obviously some spare AAA batteries just in case, but that's our head torch. We then go into beanie, so merino wool beanie. Anti-chafe cream. Now this was on the list not as an actual requirement but as recommended, and I always carry some little anti-chafe cream with me. The container's only tiny, so you never know when you might need it for your feet, for anything. So it takes up next to no room in the little bag. So anti-chafe cream. It does say we need a balaclava. It says that we only have to have a balaclava or a beanie. However, this I usually use to wipe my nose, and this usually goes on my head. So we'll take the balaclava anyway. Bandage, always got to have one of them. Band-aids, always carry band-aids, always. Emergency space blanket. So that's obviously if you get stuck out in weather and it's cold, raining, thunder, storm, whatever, you just unfold that. And spare batteries. Waterproof gloves. So the normal requirement that I have had in races before is just thermal lightweight gloves which are these ones. But this race specifically requests waterproof gloves. So I did go and buy these sort of snow skiing gloves, which are waterproof, warm, comfy on the hand. So I will take these. I am going to take my little gloves as well, just in case, but I will only obviously carry the ones that I need. Again, I will check with them at Gear Check just to make sure that it's all the right stuff. And then last but not least, we do need to have a waterproof bag to carry our stuff in. So basically like all the gear that I don't want to get wet in case it rains will go in this, and it will fold up next to nothing and sit in my vest. It is also a requirement to carry a collapsible cup because it is a cupless event. So little collapsible cup here. Thank you Cans 50 for providing me with this cup. But that is the last bit. Previously in races that we've done in Australia, we have had to carry a high-vis vest, and we have had to wear the vest during the night time. Now, on the mandatory gear list for the CCC, there is no high-vis vest noted down. However, again, it takes up next to no room in my suitcase. So I am going to put it in just in case for whatever reason I've missed it, or they change their mind, or it is just something that you do need. I will have it with me, but that is my high-vis vest. All right, I'm going to take you through some of the gear that I'm going to take over to France. So, first up, shorts. These are the CRZ hiking shorts. So I have these in 2 colors. Super cute length, nice little pockets, and really, really quick dry. Nice and stretchy, so very comfortable to wear, very easy to wash, and they look super cute on. Then I'll also be taking my CRZ running shorts. So I'm just going to take 2 pairs of these. I don't really plan on doing much running over there apart from the race. My taper is pretty much just a lot of walking. So 2 pairs of the running shorts. Plus they're also super cute casual shorts. So we'll take that. The next item of clothing that we have is our tops. So I do wear a lot of these little strappy singlety tank tops. So I'm going to take these in 3 colors. I have a brown, a black, and a white. They look super cute with the hiking shorts, and again, really lightweight, really easy to wash. So I will be taking them. I then also have my 2 favorite Gore-Wear little tank tops. Super light, super easy. I've got them in yellow and in purple. So these can be casual, can run in them, whatever I like. I am going to take 1 running t-shirt over. So this is my Win Republic running t-shirt in the white. White just goes with everything, so it makes sense to take a white one over. And then I am just going to take 1 long sleeve. So this again is my Gore-Wear long sleeve. Super lightweight material. Keep me warm if need be, but very easy to wash, very compact. For my shoes, I will be taking over my Canes. So these are basically recovery shoes. They are super, super comfy. Cane Footwear, massive shout out. Thank you for providing these. But yep, so they will be my daily shoe. And then we will take our race shoes. I'm still debating whether to take a second pair of trail shoes or just my race shoes. It really just depends on luggage, but once I pack and see how much room I have, I'll sort of make the decision. But we'll take race shoes, we'll take Canes, probably just take a pair of thongs as well, just to wear like around the apartment. But that is shoes. And here we have race outfit. So wearing the Jonji 5-inch Pace short tight. This is the same tight that I wore for my UTA 100 miler. They are just super comfy. They've got nice, really deep pockets in the side, really nice length. The bottom actually has some grip, so it stops it from riding up when you run. And then we are going to go with the orange Junji sun hoodie. So again, I wore the green version of this in UTA. It's just super lightweight, super comfortable, a little bit high in the neck, but in saying that, I would rather be a little bit high and not get burned than, you know, get burnt around there. I am debating between the orange or the cream. So I do have the same sun hoodie in the cream. I haven't actually decided exactly which color I'm going to wear. I think I will wear the orange. It looks nice, I think, with my race vest. So sun hoodie, race vest, race shorts, and then either my precision cap or my UTA cap. So we'll go whichever one of these caps, whichever one we're feeling on the day, I think. And we will be wearing the Oakley Sutro Light slutties. I think they look really nice with the outfit, and even if I do wear the cream coloured sun hoodie, they will still go really nicely. They just look nice on, they're a nice colour, super comfy, they don't fall off. So this is my race outfit. As for my race shoes, we are going with the North Face Vective 3 Pro. So again, these are the shoes that I wore for my UTA 100 miler, and they are an absolute dream. So quite literally, the foam is called Dream Foam. They've got the carbon plate in the bottom, which just helps to, with energy return, you know, the stride, all of that, which when you are running for distance, you do want to be comfy, but you also want to make sure you're getting the most out of the shoe. So these shoes did absolute wonders for me in UTA. I barely got any blisters apart from, like, you know, a tiny little blister on my toe, but overall no blisters, and they were so comfy. So we will roll the North Face Vectives again. I think I will take the current pair that I'm wearing. I do actually have, let me just get them, a brand new pair, which are a beautiful white, not dirty, not worn. However, my other ones still have a fair few miles in them, so I think I will take my current ones I'm wearing. But yeah, hopefully they do wonders for me again at CCC. And as for socks, I do wear the Injinji toe socks. So it took me a little while to get into or get used to wearing the toe socks. However, since starting to wear them, I literally cannot wear anything else on trail. These guys save my feet. So again, wore these for UTA, were a dream. So between these and my North Face shoes, we have a winning combo. I think I also forgot to mention when I was going through my gear that I have for the race was my Lecky poles. So I've used these poles for my Cozzy and for UTA, and they are a dream. I wouldn't get through the race without them. The color is insane. They are super quick to put together, so they fold up when you're not using them. And then when you are using them, they literally just snap together like that. They do have the handle, so the little glove goes on your hand like that. It just allows you to not have to grip the poles as much or as hard when holding them. But Lecky FX poles, showing you how easy they fold back up. So these guys will sit in a quiver that sits on my back, so easy to get out, easy to put back in. But from what I've heard, I pretty much will be using these the entire race anyway. But yeah. All right, we're gonna go through some race nutrition. So for the race, we are aiming for about 60 grams of carbs per hour. Give or take a little bit, obviously. Maybe as we get further into the race, that might decline a little bit, but my goal is to hold that 60 grams of carbs per hour for as long as possible. Given the total time I've worked out the race will hopefully take me, we will be aiming for total 1,545 grams of carbs, which is about 7,260 calories. So obviously, hopefully, if all goes to plan, that's how much we're intaking. But who knows on the day, heat, weather, tummy issues, all of that, hopefully all goes well. So what I have done is basically pre-bagged all my nutrition. I have the checkpoint 4, 5, 6, and then that makes it just easy for my crew. So when I come into a aid station, the crew just needs to repack my vest with the stuff that's in the bag for that checkpoint. Now with the race, we actually don't get to see any crew from when we start. We don't get to see any crew till checkpoint 4, which is about 55 kilometers into the race. So given that I am very specific with the nutrition that I want to use, it means that I need to carry nutrition for 55 kilometers worth, which is quite a lot. So the first half of the race, my pack is going to be significantly heavier because I am basically carrying at least half of the nutrition that I'm going to intake over the whole run. So we are utilizing precision chews and gels. We are utilizing Fix Nutrition gels just for a little bit of flavor. We are also incorporating a little bit of Maple Movement gels as well, just for, again, some different flavor. But majority of my gels are the Precision Fuel and Hydration. I am also going to be intaking the Precision Fuel and Hydration bars, chew bars. The good thing about these chew bars is that they are 60 grams of carbs per one bar. So essentially each hour, all I need to do is intake one of these bars and I am getting my 60 grams of carbs. The way that I'm working my nutrition is over a 90-minute period. So in 90 minutes, I'm aiming to intake 90 grams of carbs. So basically every 45 minutes. 45 minutes I will take one whole bar, and then another 45 minutes later I will take my gel. That's a 90-minute period. That is 90 grams of carbs. I am also incorporating my Precision Carb and Electrolyte Fuel Mix. So purely this is just to uptake my sodium intake and give me a little bit of extra carbs, a little bit of extra electrolytes, because it is going to be hot. And then if I do miss some fueling in my gels or my chews, I am bumping it up with my drink as well. Plus it also tastes a little bit nice rather than just consistently drinking water. But essentially that is our nutrition for the race. Leading into the race, I am going to be really fixated on getting in enough electrolytes and enough sodium. So I am taking my Switch Hydrate little electrolyte packets with me. So I will take some of these on the plane, and then I will make sure I drink at least one of these every day leading up to the race. I am also going to take a couple of my pH 150 drink mixes as well. This is just purely to up my sodium intake. I don't really know how hot it's going to be over there. I have heard that it is extremely hot. However, I come from somewhere very hot, so until I get there, I'm really not going to know. But I'm just going to take a couple of these just in case I want to up my sodium, but definitely making sure I intake my electrolytes every single day leading up to the race. Also, as well as post-race for recovery, because we want to recover well as well. So there you have it. That is all of my gear that I'm taking, my travel bag, my mandatory gear, my race outfit. I will actually, at the very end of this video, put my whole race kit on and just do one quick little preview at the end, and our nutrition sorted. So I hope this video has been a little bit insightful, a little bit helpful if you're planning on going and doing a 100K race. Just a little bit of guidance on what you might need. Plus, as a female, packing, fashion, that sort of stuff is always fun as well. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. If you have any suggestions, pop them in the comment. I probably won't take them on board for this race as it's pretty sorted, but anything for future races, give me some suggestions. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the start line.